What could change for you if you stopped explaining yourself? If you were so confident in your choice and your decision and knew that your word is firm, your boundaries are firm, you felt no need to give an explanation for why you are choosing to do something or not do something. Where does this stem from? Why do we feel the need to explain our position, to justify what is best for us? Have you ever thought about that? Today we're going to be diving into that. If you're new here, welcome. I'm a mystical medium. On this channel, I co-create with Source and your higher self to bring you all of the practical tools and messages of divine soul alchemy. Now, these are real, practical, helpful tools that I have utilized on my own journey of self-healing. And I carry specific key codes for you. If I've popped up on your timeline, on your feed, it's not by chance. You entrusted me with certain codes to your awakening, to your remembrance of how to utilize your full multidimensional magic. And so it is my honor and privilege to be able to give those back to you now at this specific time, this specific point in your journey. Welcome to this sacred space. Let's take a moment. Let's drop into our heart center together before we dive into this message. So let's close our eyes. Place your one hand over your heart. Sit up tall, roll your shoulders back, but also relax into your body. Let's invite some stillness in the bustling, busy world. In these times of what can feel like the most chaos that's ever been prevalent on this planet, it's important that we ground ourselves, that we come back to our bodies, that we take the time to quiet our minds. So just take a moment. Notice the pattern of your breathing. Notice where it catches in your body. Notice where you feel restricted. Notice where you feel pain or tightness. I'm having a lot of tension up around my neck and my shoulders today, upper back area. But it makes sense because I did I did some workout stuff over the last couple of days for upper body. But just take a moment. You can even give yourself a little massage. Just tune into your body, tune into your breath, observe, notice, witness, and come back to yourself. Beautiful. All right. So let's talk about why we need to stop explaining ourselves. When we start to give an explanation for why we are choosing to do something or not do something, it actually opens the door for people to think that we are not solid on our stance. See, the people that want to take advantage of you, the people that are used to you operating in a certain way, when you start to just own your boundaries and own your truth without explanation, they're going to push back against that because they're used to being able to take from you easily. They're used to being able to rebuttal whatever you have to say, because these types of people are very, very good at coming up with excuses for why you should do what they want you to do, right? Why you should sacrifice your own well-being, your own boundaries for them. And they'll do it in very clever ways. They'll do it in ways that make you think, well, that's a good, valid point. I guess, maybe this once it's okay. If your internal state of being is telling you no, no is a full sentence, my friend. But be prepared to receive the backlash of this stance, of starting to be firm with your boundaries. Now, these types of people that are going to try to push your boundaries will fall away naturally as time progresses. Once people see that they can't use you anymore, guess what? They'll go on and find someone else. And this is beautiful because this frees up your energy to focus on yourself, to focus on your own healing, to focus on what do I want instead of what does everyone around me want me to do for them, or who do they want me to be? How do they want me to show up? How do they expect me to show up? When we start to show up as our authentic self and actually own what is best for us, all of those toxic people will fall away. Now it takes a little time because there's that in between. I like to call it the dissonance between two timelines, right? When we're creating something new, when we're stepping into this new version of ourselves, the experiences that we've attracted based on past versions that we've been operating in, past levels of consciousness, awareness, or lack thereof, all of that is still being reflected in our field briefly. So this is where we have to really own our power, where we have to own our authenticity, own our stance. Don't backtrack, don't fall back, and don't feel like you need to explain your position to anyone. If you want to, that's perfectly fine. You can do that. However, if you know you are explaining yourself to someone that has previously taken advantage of you, or always tries to come up with some kind of excuse or reason for why you shouldn't do what you're saying that you want to do or know that you should do, don't give the explanation. This is going to feel really uncomfortable at first. Like, really, if you're used to using your voice a lot to make your stance firm, then you're going to have some uncomfortability in learning to just say no. But try it. The next time you feel your soul, you feel your heart saying, no, this is not in alignment for us, or not today, speak that and just that, and observe the way the other person, responds to you, or reacts. Don't take their projections on into your field. Just sit back and become the divine observer. See how much you can witness and take stock. That's really interesting that they're having this reaction to my boundary. That's interesting that they're making this situation all about themselves when it's really about me. And this is not selfish. It's going to feel selfish, and they're probably going to try to make you feel like you're being selfish. But your no is sacred. Your word, your boundaries are sacred, and they deserve to be respected. But for others to step up and respect those, guess what? You have to first do that for yourself. And as people pleasers, I know because I used to be this way myself, and I never would have classified myself as a people pleaser, but I was so in my own shit, I couldn't, see the difference, right? It's only when we're able to pull back and we start to see, oh, okay, like I put on these masks to make these people like me. I'm a Gemini sun, so I'm very adaptable. I'm very good at adapting to different environments, to different types of people, connecting to different types of people. And when I grew up, I wasn't allowed to have attention. I wasn't allowed to date. I grew up in a very rigid, strict Christian home. And so as an adult, when I started to step out and people started to find me attractive, I became addicted to the attention. And when I discovered that people liked certain aspects of myself, what I thought was me, that's what I played into. And as I progressed along my healing journey, I started to strip that back. And I started to see, this need for external validation is not serving. So take a look at where you are looking for external validation from other people, instead of honoring your own boundaries, honoring your truth, honoring your authenticity. Because the right people will always love you for you. They will not try to dim your light. They will not try to stifle your magic. They will not be threatened by your growth. And they will not try to use you. When you put up a boundary, or when you say, hey, like when you said this or did this, it hurt my feelings, they won't flip it and make it about themselves. They'll be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for letting me know. I had no idea. I didn't mean for it to come across that way. That is a thing of beauty. And that is a true healthy relationship, whether it's platonic or romantic. That is what you're intended to experience. But in order to experience that, guess what? You got to stop explaining yourself. You got to stop looking for external validation. You have to know that you are worthy. Your no is worthy. And a full sentence. So if you found this video helpful, please leave me a comment down below, letting me know what you took from it. Share it with someone else that you feel like could really benefit from this message, because a lot of us, especially those who classify themselves as empaths, which I used to too. Now I don't really buy into that because it's a whole gridded thing and we all have empathy within us. We all have the ability to be empathetic, right? But empathy without boundaries is self-destruction. And that's one of the biggest lessons that we have to learn as multidimensionals that are once again tapping back into their full power, their full magic, the full remembrance of who they are. And if you found this video today, that's the journey you're on. That's the process you're on. Boundaries are going to be a huge lesson for you. So start to hold your field. Don't let people sway you. Don't leave the door open for them to rebuttal your no. All right, my friends. Thank you for joining me here today. I'm sending you all love. Until next time, be the magic.